4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Well, welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and I very much appreciate you tuning in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to shine a spotlight on the Madison Southern girls and boys basketball teams. They had their preseason media day on Thursday, and we were down there and got a ton of interviews with coaches, assistant coaches, and players. And so we thought we'd share all those with you and give you kind of a preview of the season. Teams don't actually start real games until November the 29th. But we're going to give you a complete rundown of who's back and who's not and all that good stuff. And so we look forward to showing you those videos here in just a minute. But as always, we like to open the show the way we always open the show, with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports. And it was, this past Friday night was the opening week of the KHSAA football playoffs. All 3 Madison County teams in action, only one at home. And unfortunately, only one of them advancing on to the second round, and that was Madison Central taking on Henry Clay here in Richmond. And hard to believe, but Madison Central carrying a 2-game losing streak into the postseason. In their final 2 regular season games, they combined to score just 7 points, 1 touchdown, and had only 477 total yards of offense in the losses to Bryan Station and Southwestern. But on Friday night against Henry Clay, that offense came to life. 489 yards, 396 yards on the ground. Brady Hensley, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 1 receiving. And like we said, it was Madison Central, 49-10, moving on to the second round of the playoffs. And they will face Dunbar on the second round of the Class 6A playoffs. Is coming Friday night up in Lexington. A couple more stats for you. Hagan Harrison had 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing. Jaden West with a 61-yard touchdown catch. Parker Mullins also had a touchdown run. And Central scored on 5 of its first 6 possessions, had a 42-10 lead at halftime. And after a long second half with a lot of penalties and everything, cruised to a really easy victory. A couple of fun videos here for you. Everybody was in a very happy mood after the game. So the first video we're going to show you, this is Braxton Hodges, and manager John, and Brady Hensley talking about the win. And we even let John do some of the interview.
We're back here at Madison Central High School, where the Indians have picked up a 49-10 win over Henry Clay in the first round of the playoffs. Braxton Hodges, Brady Hensley, and manager John. So, Brady, it's hard to believe this offense only scored just 7 points in the last 2 games. But man, you guys made some adjustments to some different things, and it really worked.
Yes, sir. We got it rolling tonight. We picked up Ryland back, and we added some stuff on offense, and everybody was getting after it tonight. It's really good.
Yeah, because Parker was in there too, and doing some different formations and stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, he did great tonight. I don't know how many yards he had, but it was a lot. We got it rolling.
Yeah, and I mean, Braxton, you're kind of the epitome of the mentality of this team this year, the next man up mentality. So many injuries.
Yes,
you had to step up there. You kick return, punt return. Defense, just the way it's been all year for this team, right?
So you just got to go out there and play football, man. Just play with your brothers.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
John, you want to ask either one of these guys a question?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
Did you want the 5th one, Brady? Go ahead, John.
I just feel stepping up to with Brian and some of the guys out there step up and do big things for us.
It feels pretty good because, I mean, football is just exactly what it is. You're just playing football, and I'm just happy to go out there and help the team out, you know.
Okay. Anything else, John? Ask Brady a question.
Ask me a question, John.
Let's go, John. We got to get out of here.
Ask me a question.
It's second half slash.
It felt pretty good tonight. It felt pretty good. Got the 4 for the 40 right there.
That was a lot of fun after the game there, talking to those guys. And Central has had so many injuries past couple of weeks. Did get a couple of guys back this week. Ryland Rhodes was back, but unfortunately still had, looks like Brock Eads is going to be out for the season. Bryant Mathis was also out. Their top pass catching tight end Travis Grant was out, but they did rework some things. They moved Parker Mullins into the backfield and make him kind of the number 2 running back, and all those changes made a big difference. And when I went to talk to Coach afterwards, he said, you're going to talk to me and the entire offensive line, because they had a great night. Like we said, 396 yards rushing. So he wanted the entire offensive line to be on this conversation. So we were very happy to do that, including Aiden Howard, whose birthday it was. So this was a fun interview, too. So here's Coach Mike Holcomb and the entire Madison Central offensive line.
We're joined by Coach Mike Holcomb and the entire offensive line. Look at all of them there. Coach, 49-10 win. Their offense really got going. It struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks. You guys made some adjustments. You guys got some guys back and looked really good.
All our guys just picked up that these guys right here make it easy, and they're all getting healthier now, feel better and feel good, and just they're getting better and better every week. They got off the ball great tonight. We did pretty much whatever we wanted to do, and ran some different things, some really not different blocking, but a few new little things there that they just took right to and made it look good.
Yeah, I mean, Malachi, you guys made some adjustments there. You had Parker in and with some guys out, and the adjustments worked out pretty good.
Yeah, they did. I mean, just came in and did what we had to do, what we do every week.
Yeah. Anybody want to look ahead to Dunbar? Anybody? Aiden?
I'm excited. I'm excited for this game. Ready to play good. Ready to go crazy off the ball. Play as good as we play.
Do what we do. Do what we do.
Come on.
Do what we do.
You guys ready too? Oh, yeah, it's a birthday too.
17.
17. All right, well, congratulations, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week up in Lexington.
All right, well, that was a lot of fun. And those guys definitely, the offensive line guys never get a lot of credit. So it was really cool to get them on there. And I know they enjoyed it. So that was a lot of fun. So 8-3 on this season now for Madison Central, moving on to the second round to face Paul Lawrence Dunbar. And a lot of people already asking how the playoffs would break down after that. And to be completely honest, I'm not sure. Once you get past the second round, it is all based on RPI. And right now, it would look like the Central would still be on the road for our third round playoff. But hey, got to beat Dunbar first. And of course, the two teams played in Richmond back in August. It was a 28-27 win for Madison Central. So first things first. And me and Randy will be there for the tailgate show up at Dunbar on Friday night about 6:30 out in the parking lot. So come by and say hello and root on the Indians. The other two high school football games on Friday night did not go well for our local teams, unfortunately. We'll start off with the Class A playoffs, and we talked about it all week. Berea Community had never won a postseason game, 0-14 all-time in school history, but went up to Dayton on a Friday night with hopes of ending that streak, and looked pretty good at the half. They were up 7-6, but 4 second-half turnovers allowed Dayton to pull away for a 22-7 win. It was Sean Catt catching a touchdown pass from Jason Coburn in the first half. And like I said, Dayton scored almost immediately there at like a minute and a half into the game to go up, but that touchdown by Kett did put Berea back in front. They had that 7-6 lead at the half, but like I said, definitely the second half was not good for Berea. The very first possession of the first half was an interception, which Dayton turned into a field goal to make it 9-7. It was still 9-7 heading into the fourth quarter, but a couple of more turnovers and a couple of more touchdowns from Dayton wrapped it up. So 4-7 on the season for Berea to finish things out. Dayton moves to 6-5. They will take on Kentucky Country Day next Friday in the second round of the Class A playoffs. Class 5A playoffs down in Somerset. We saw a rematch of the season opener between Madison Southern and Southwestern. I'm sure a lot of people remember that season opener because the Eagles surprised a lot of people by jumping out to a 19-0 lead before Southwestern came back to pick up a 27-19 win. And the rematch did not work out anything like that at all, though, unfortunately. Southwestern scored a couple of early touchdowns and went on to pick up a 41-14 win over Madison Southern. 355 yards rushing for the undefeated Warriors, who are now 11-0 on the season. Cade Sullivan had both touchdowns for Madison Central, one on a 60-yard run and the other on a touchdown catch. But it was Madison Southern with just 251 yards of offense. Didn't have a turnover, but as it just got down early and was never able to get back into the game. Ethan Woods, 9 of 19, 104 yards passing with one touchdown. Cade Sullivan had 66 yards rushing and also had 5 carries for 68 yards as well. Juan Rodriguez, 11 rushes for 43 yards, and Stephen White had 8 rushes for 41 yards. So 3-8, that's how Madison Southern finishes up the season. And, Southwestern moves on to the second round to take on North Laurel. An interesting note before we move on from high school football here. Our buddy Russ Carson Jr. really crunching the numbers last night. Sent me a text. So there are 96. Well, there would have been 96 first-round games on Friday night, but there were four teams that got byes and 2 teams that got forfeits. So there's 90 games last night, and the lower-seeded teams only won 11 of those 90 games, and only 6 teams with a losing record, or with a worse record than the other team won. So there's a lot. We talked about it on our tailgate show last week about how they let pretty much everybody into the playoffs these days. And so of the 90 games, only 11 of them were won by the lower seeds, and all of those were 3s beating 2s. No 4s beat 1s. So as expected, the first week of high school football playoffs in Kentucky result in a lot of blowouts, a lot of lopsided scores, and that was the case once again. So, but that's what we talk about Berea Community never making the playoffs until 1996, but that's because back in those days before they expanded, it was really hard to get in the playoffs, and now it is not hard to get into the playoffs. And so there turned out to be a lot of lopsided scores. Only one team on Friday night with a losing record went on the road and won, and that was Bourbon County with a 2-8 record. They were the only team to advance on to the second round with a losing record win on the road. I know that's confusing, but basically the higher seeds always win, and that's basically what you got here. And even a lot of those, I think it was 5 of the 11 that won actually had better records than the team that they beat. So as is usually the case, the opening weekend of the playoffs is not very interesting. The higher seeds almost always win. So thanks for Russ for crunching the numbers on that. He must have had some free time on his hands, I guess. But it's very interesting, though. I thought it was very fascinating. I saw on our social media site if you want to look at it and kind of look at it and break it down as well, too. So very interesting. But that was Friday night. On Saturday night, EKU football was back at Roy Kidd Stadium to take on Central Arkansas. And it was the Colonels picking up their 3rd straight win to go to 6-3 on the season, 42-14 over the Bears. And it was Parker McKinney, 19 of 29, 253 with 3 TDs on a very breezy night over at Roy Kidd Stadium. Joshua Carter, 13 carries, 125 yards, 1 TD. Braden Sloan had 2 touchdown runs, and Jaden Higgins with 2 touchdown catches. 2-1 in the A-Sun now, and they'll hit the road this Saturday to go down to Jacksonville State to face the Gamecocks. And sitting there at 6-3 with 2 games left on the schedule, you got to feel pretty confident if the Colonels can win at least one of the last 2 games. If they don't get the AQ bid from the A-Sun WAC Challenge, that they certainly will get an at-large bid to the playoffs. So the Colonels closing in on a playoff spot after a big win at home on Saturday. A couple other notes to pass along to you from a variety of different sports. We'll start off with golf. The Region 9, the Kentucky Golf Coaches Association Region 9 awards came out last week, and not surprisingly, Madison Central swept all of the major awards. They did win both state championships. So, Players of the Year on the girls' side was Elizabeth Eberly. On the boys' side was Clay Pendergrass, and that was the 4th straight year he's been the Region 9 Player of the Year. And the Coach of the Year, once again, not surprisingly, on the girls' side was Tenny Orr of Madison Central, and on the boys' side was Kyle Congleton of Madison Central as well. Tenny Orr has been the coach at Madison Central for 5 years. She has been the 9th Region Coach of the Year 5 times. And in his 7 years at Central, Kyle Congleton has been the Coach of the Year. I think it's 4 times out of 7 years. So sweeping all those awards, which was definitely not a surprise. And in some college golf news, Madison Central graduate Blake Maupin, who plays golf at U-Pike, he won the MSC Mid-South Conference Challenge on Tuesday at the Bowling Green Country Club. It was his 3rd title of the fall season. He's having a fantastic senior year down there. Of course, Blake played at Berea Community before he transferred over to Madison Central and had a great career there, and he's having a great college career as well. Now 4 college wins, and he'll be back on the course this fall as U-Pike finishes out its fall schedule. On Saturday, we had the Region 6 cheer competition, the KHSA cheer competition up at Tates Creek High School in Lexington. It was Madison Central taking first place in the small game day division. Madison Southern was 2nd in the co-ed division, and Model was 5th in the small game day division as well. Top 2 from each division go on to the state championships in December. There are There's top 2 plus a few, but the top 2 are guaranteed to get in, but that'll be in December. And so Madison Central and Madison Southern will be moving on to the state there. And looking ahead this coming week, we have a lot of basketball coming up. It's starting tomorrow night. McBrayer Arena, it'll be the home opener for the Colonels and the Lady Colonels at McBrayer Arena at 5:30. It'll be EKU taking on, or 5 o'clock, Evansville. EKU taking on Evansville, and then at 7:30, the EKU men taking on Miami University Middletown. Big week for both teams. Both teams have 3 games. They start with the women after the Monday game with Evansville. They'll also be at home Friday night against Appalachian State, and then also at home on Sunday against Morehead State. And the men will start off Monday night at home against Miami Middletown, and then Thursday the big showdown with Western Kentucky at McBrayer Arena. And then Sunday, travel up I-75 to take on the University of Cincinnati. EKU women were picked 5th in the ASUN preseason conference poll, and the EKU men were picked 10th. But we all know they're a little bit better than that, so they'll probably just put a little bigger chip on their shoulder. So 3 returners back for the boys there with Michael Marino, Cooper Robb, and Devontae Blanton, and a bunch of great new freshmen as well, and of course Isaiah Cozart and a bunch of other newcomers there as well. And speaking of basketball, moving ahead, Tuesday night, Berea College opens up their season at home with a matchup against Franklin College down at the Seabury Center, and it is a busy week for both the men and women there as well. Thursday, the men are at home against, or so Thursday they're at Center College, and then Sunday they're at home against William Peace. The girls actually are actually at home on Tuesday night as well, taking on Campbellsville University Harrodsburg before the boys' game, but that is an exhibition game. Their first real games will be Saturday when they go down to the Agnes Scott Classic in Decatur, Georgia. But 8 o'clock Tuesday night, I know it's election night, but it is the home opener for Berea College. And here's a special message from Austin Newton.
What's up, guys? I'm Coach Newton down at Berea College, and Tuesday is election day, and we're hoping that you choose to come to Berea College Tuesday night for a women's and men's basketball doubleheader. We got a lot of special things going on Tuesday night. The first 300 in attendance are going to get one of these blue T-shirts. We got some great sponsors on the back of this T-shirt. It is a blue out, so come early, get your blue shirt. We're going to recognize our future Eagles Youth League here in Berea at halftime of the men's game. The Madison County Special Olympics worldwide famous team that was on Sports Center last year are going to be playing at halftime of our game. It's going to be a fun night. We're hoping to pack this arena with 2,000 people, all wearing blue, cheering on the Mountaineers. We hope to see you there.
All right. Well, if you get a chance Tuesday night, please go down there and support our friends at Berea College. And, of course, tomorrow night as well, if you get a chance, go over to McBrayer Arena, 5:30, EKU women versus Evansville, and 5 o'clock for the girls, 7:30 for the boys as they take on Miami University Middletown, which I know is not an exciting opener on the boys' side, but hey, not every game can be a big showdown like we'll see on Thursday night with Western. So every schedule has a few not so interesting ones in it. But hey, it's a good way to open up your season at home with a nice, easy win, especially with a lot of new players on the roster. So, but if you get a chance, come out and support Berea College and EKU this week as they open up their basketball seasons. And speaking of basketball season, I mentioned at the top of the show, Thursday afternoon, we were invited down to the media day down at Madison Southern and got a chance to talk to a lot of players, coaches, assistant coaches, and all kinds of stuff. Had a lot of fun. And we took a lot of video, and so we figured instead of bringing somebody in here and doing an interview, we'll just play all these videos for you and let these guys kind of talk for themselves. We'll start off with the girls. Of course, 22-12 last year, won a district championship, got to the semifinals of the 11th region tournament. They did lose 4 seniors, most notably Morgan Flannery and Macy Daniels, but a lot of kids coming back this year. Expectations are certainly high. If you look at a lot of the preseason publications, they have them as one of the top 2, 3, 4 teams in the region. A lot of people pointing to this team as a team that has a chance to get to Rupp Arena and make some noise. But there's a lot of returners on this team, and we got a whole series of interviews here. But we're going to start off with Coach Josh Curtis. We're here at Madison Southern High School with girls basketball coach Josh Curtis here for the Eagle Media Day. And thanks for having us out, Coach.
Thanks.
Well, you guys coming off a great year, district championship, did a lot of special things here last year, and got a lot of great kids back, and so not unexpectedly the expectations here are high, and a lot of preseason publications have picked you, and so I guess expectations are a good thing, but Now you got to live up to them. That's the hard part, right?
Yes, and we played the underdog card the last couple of years, kind of being under the radar. And I guess you have some success, and you start to get on people's radar, and changes the mindset of how you have to prepare leading up to the season and then throughout the season, because we know we're going to get everybody's best shot. There's a lot of good teams out there within the district and the region, so we've got our work cut out for us. I like our team, but we also know we have a long ways to go. But we're excited for what we have.
Did lose some key seniors off that team last year, so there are some holes to fill there.
Yes. Macy Daniels, Warden Flannery started for a long time here, 3 or 4 years. Morgan's playing college basketball right now. They were great players and they were great leaders. Luckily we are able to bring 7 seniors back this year, so that helps out with the experience. We have a lot of returning players as far as key contributors, both older and younger. So, it's not going to be one person to fill Morgan's spot or Mason's spot. It'll just be a collective group, but we like what we have.
Yeah. And how about those 7 seniors? You got Reese back and a bunch of other ones, so just kind of talk about all of them.
Yes, there's a lot of them. Having someone like Reese back, she got cleared at the end of September, I believe, and so she's been going full out with practice, and she looked really good. Times you can't tell she ever was injured. She's taking care of it, doing the things that she needs to do, and we know how much of a difference maker she is. She is healthy. We saw that in the last year or two. Tara Wood started a lot of games for us last year. She's going to probably be our best on-ball defender this year. Bella Marley was her and Jada Carter were kind of the contributors with Reese going down last year. They got a lot of the minutes and experience, so bringing 2 girls like that back. We have Natalie Clark, who has a lot of potential. She had a lot of injuries and different things last year, but she's looked really good so far this preseason, so she can change the game with her energy. We have Kirsten Fraley, who didn't play a lot last year, but you've got to have a Kirsten Fraley on your team. She's a really tough kid, competes in practice, makes everybody better. And then probably July, we had a senior move in from Illinois, Megan Correll. Talking to her, she at her old high school, she started since 8th grade, so she's got a ton of experience playing basketball. She's a really good player and a really good kid. So we've got a lot there with those 7.
Yeah, and of course, one of your younger players has already made a big splash in Hadley French, and I mean, one publication says she's the 2nd best player in the 11th region, so that's a great honor.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go to war with Hadley any day. She's a great player, great kid. She's learning how to become a leader at such a young age, and her basketball IQ is so high. She just always makes the right decision, the right pass. As good as she was last year, we think she's going to have an even bigger jump this year, and we're really excited to see how she grows this year.
Who else is going to make an impact for you then?
The kids we have not mentioned, I think Lacey Sandlin is going to break out this year. She's someone, when you look at her, she looks the part. I think her mind has finally caught up to her abilities. She's really starting to figure out how hard she has to play. When she can do that, she can really, really help us out. And then we have Ashley Neestep, who was starting some last year, or 6-man. I think Ashley assumed a lot of Morgan's roles from last year as far as the energy, the defense. Just some summer games this past summer, she was able to change the game with just getting her hand in deflections and steals and passing the ball. So she's a huge contributor for us as well.
All right, we'll talk about the schedule and kind of some of the highlight games in there.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty tough schedule. We're going back to Florida, not going to Orlando this year, but going to Daytona. So we'll see some out-of-state teams there. We're playing in the Gateway in Montgomery County. We have a chance to run into Boyd County, who's picked to win their region, and obviously Montgomery County is one of the top 2 teams in their region. We pretty much play everyone in our region, and I think our region is as deep as it's been in a while. There's 6-7 teams who really compete and play and beat you on any night. We've got some out of region teams as well. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any right now, but I think we're going to get challenged in different spots and see a lot of different styles that you have to see throughout the season to be prepared for the end of the season.
All right, appreciate you having us up. Best of luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Well, let me tell you something. Josh Curtis has put together a heck of a coaching staff down there. He has 3 former high school head coaches on his coaching staff, and we're going to hear from 2 of them in a minute. But of course, he has Kent Miller, who was the head coach at Madison Central's girls for a long time. Also was the head coach of Model's boys for a while. And he has added Lee Cummins, who was the head coach at Model last year. And also coming back to the Madison Southern coaching staff, Summer Simmons, who was the head coach there for a long time. She stepped away a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and she is back, and she is going to be running the JV team this year and also helping Josh, obviously, as an assistant coach. So got a chance to talk to my old friend Summer, so here's what she had to say.
Hi, we're back here at Madison Southern High School with Madison Southern girls basketball JV coach, a very familiar face, Summer Simmons. Hello again, Summer.
Hi.
Welcome back. How long were you out of coaching? Was it 4 or 5 years?
3.
3 years? Okay.
Yes. 3 days, 17 days. No, 3 years, 17 days. No, I'm kidding.
What piqued your interest to want to get back in at this time?
Obviously this team is going to be a really good team. Coach Curtis has persistently given me some hints over the years since he's been here. And I just really like the coaching staff, and my kids are a little older now, so it's a little easier to tote them around, and I'm just excited to be a part of it this year.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of come back to a program you once were the head coach for, but obviously you and Josh have a great relationship, and so it works out pretty good, I guess.
Yes, it's been ideal so far, and I'm just excited and for the opportunity.
Yeah, talk about you obviously had success when you were the head coach here. You won district championships, but just kind of talk about where the program is right now, because it's certainly gone to a whole nother level and doing great things.
Yeah, I just think it's a testament to the players in the past, the players now. Coach Curtis is doing a phenomenal job, and I'm just happy to be a part of that staff. And these girls have the opportunity to do something really special this year, and they're putting in the time. They're good kids, and I think that it's just going to be a great year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's not only just at the varsity level, you have so many more kids at the JV and the freshmen, and it seems like just the interest in girls basketball here in Berea in general is just skyrocketing.
Oh yeah, and I just think that, again, it's a testament to the community and putting time into the youth and our middle school programs, and we're happy to have big numbers, and we hope that continues and develop these players into their potential. So
on the JV side, who are some of the kids we should watch out for?
We've got some youth, and we've got some. We're a mix of some experienced players and some middle school girls. Will probably put in some time for our JV. Olivia Wagner, she's going to be one that's going to be in our post situation, and she's going to contribute a lot. Bailey Sparks is going to be on the floor a lot for us. Our point guard positions, Cammie Durson and Corey Lowe, and probably forgetting some. Who am I forgetting, Coach?
Kirk.
Yes, Lily Kirk's going to be out there producing some shots for us, and we just have their middle school players, but then we've got our high school players too. So it's just a combination of developing these girls for our future varsity program. So.
Yeah. And who are you most excited to work with at the varsity level as an assistant there?
Like as in player?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a connection with a lot of the seniors because they were still in my program, like when I left. So I'm just excited to see the fruits of all their labor come about, hopefully in this season. So Reese and Tara and Bella and Jada and all those girls. So I'm just excited to be able to work with them again.
All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
It was good to have Summer back on the sidelines, and also someone is glad to see back is Lee Cummins. Like I said, she had great success at Model last year, and has joined that program, and she'll technically be the freshman coach down there, but also, of course, an assistant coach with the varsity as well. But she's got a big group of freshmen down there, a lot of middle schoolers as well. So here's what she had to say about that group of kids.
All right, we're back here at Madison Southern, joined by Madison Southern girls JV basketball coach Lee Cummins. Lee, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, this is an interesting staff, and the fact that you were a former head coach at Model. Summer was a former head coach here. Kent's been a head coach other places too. So this is a very experienced coaching staff.
Yes, it's a wonderful opportunity every day to come in here with a talented coaching staff with so much experience. It's just a great team and a great coaching staff to be affiliated with. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to get to work every day with this staff and really enjoying every single minute of it.
Yeah, we're just out there taking some pictures, and the number of kids you've got on the JV team and the freshman team is unbelievable.
Yes, my freshman team, we have 20 girls, and it's a wonderful situation. All of them come, they're very enthusiastic. They give 110% during practices, and we're just very fortunate to have so many young players and very talented players coming up into the system.
Yeah, a lot of middle schoolers going to play up, or
oh yes,
a few, or?
Yes. My freshman team is almost all 7th and 8th graders. So yes.
Okay, you guys have seen great development from both the middle schools here in Berea, both Ferristown and Foley. Obviously they were a district champion, district runner-up this past year.
Yes, both have had great success, and now bringing them together, and they're used to playing against each other, but getting them to come and learn their roles on the team when we're merging, it's really a lot of fun to watch, and watch how they're contributing and really buying into the team goal and competing every day.
I know they're just freshmen, but a couple of names of some kids we should watch.
Yes, Brianna Hensley, very talented shooter. Cammie Dearson that was mentioned, Lily Kirk, and Olivia Coburn. So a lot of really young talent that we're excited about.
And of course, you guys will play Model later this year. Any kind of mixed emotions when you have to go against your former girls over there?
Well, so much respect for Model and for having that opportunity to get me back into coaching, into the game I'm so passionate about. So certainly always wishing Model the best and enjoying a new journey here.
All right. Well, I always enjoy talking to all those folks down there, and we did get a chance to talk to one player, and that was Reese Estep. She's back for her 5th year, and of course, if you don't know the story behind her, she's a kid who's overcome a lot during her high school career. She had blew out her knee as a freshman and came back and had it happen again last year, so she has matching scars on both knees from the recovery, but she did want to come back and play one extra year, and the rules now allow you to do that. And even without her last year, the Eagles were able to do a lot of great things, but I know it was really painful for her to sit on the sidelines and watch, and she's itching to get back in there. So here's what Reese Estep had to say about the season.
Back here at Madison Southern High School with Reese Estep, coming back for her 5th year after having the serious knee injury last year. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back.
What was the rehab been like for the past year?
This one, I will say, strength-wise, I've been excelling. I know I felt like my recovery went very well and fast, but mentally it took a little bit more this time, but I'm so excited to be back. Just wanting to be back is overwhelming for me. So.
Yeah, of course you went through that with the other knee when you were a freshman. So you know what that process is like. Does that help? Like I said, I hate to say help because it's a horrible thing, but
having the knowledge of, unfortunately having the knowledge of my left one has helped me with my right one, and being patient is the hardest thing to do, but it's the biggest part of this process, and just being there for my team. And I know that they need me as much on the bench as they do on the court, so I'm just waiting to get back with them.
Yeah, and unfortunately you had to be a spectator last year when they won the district and did all those really cool things, and so that had to be kind of torturous, I guess, in some ways, but you had to be very happy for them too.
Yes, cheering them on, it was that was my role, and I took that very seriously. I knew that they were going to do great things. Even if I couldn't be there on the floor with them, I was with them every step of the way, cheering them on, encouraging them. They knew I was for them the entire season.
Yeah, you did graduate some kids off that team, so how does this team look a little bit different than the one last year?
Well, I was very close to our seniors last year. That was supposed to be our graduating class, so I love them. I miss them so badly, but we have such great players, and I feel like we go very deep in the bench that those are big spots to fill, but we have girls that will definitely step up into those spots.
Yeah, is it amazing? Someone like Hadley is so young, and she's already gotten so many accolades and done so many great things.
Hadley, I feel like she has so much pressure on her all the time to do such great things because everyone knows that she is capable of those things, and she handles that so well, especially playing with the girls so much older than her, she's a very mature player and she knows what she's doing on the floor.
Yeah, and of course without you in the lineup, some other kids had to kind of step up on the post and do some different things. Jada and some other folks, and they did a good job.
Yes, Jada and Bella Moberly, Bella definitely stepped up big time, like in the paint work and being strong. She has gotten so much stronger, and like her moves have improved so much.
All right, well, Lady Eagles will open up the 2022-2023 season at home on November 29th against East Jessamine. The Madison Southern boys basketball team had a great year as well, 21-12. Got to the 11th region semifinals for the first time in school history, won a district championship, and a lot of familiar faces back for the Eagles. And but there's one familiar face that's in a new role, and of course that's Bill Bevins, the new head coach after Austin Newton left to go to Berea College about a month and a half ago. Bill, who'd been an assistant for 19 years at Madison Southern, is now the new head coach down there, and it's a great fit for him to come in and take over a program. He knows all these kids, and basically bringing back about the same roster. They lost 3 seniors from that team, including Nate Turner, but you still have Jay Rose, you still have Braden and Zach Hudson. You still have Brett Ursuline, you still have Ashton Hazelwood, you still have Kason Nobby, a lot of the same guys. But you got to feel good for a guy who pays his dues and sticks around and is loyal to a school, and they give him the chance to take over the program, especially when you have this kind of talent. And so you're a first-year head coach and you come into a program and you got this kind of talent on your roster. That's a good thing. So here's what Coach Bill Bevins had to say the other day when we got a chance to talk to him.
All right, we're here at Madison Southern with brand new head basketball coach Bill Bevins. And Coach, you've been an assistant here for a long time, man. How's it feel to finally get that head coaching job and take over your own program?
It feels great. Like you said, I've been here. This is 20 years actually I've been here. So I came in with Coach Buttrey in 2003 and began as assistant at that point, and kind of worked my way up and did freshman for a while and done JV for a while, and I've known the whole time, that eventually I would love to be the head coach one day, but just kind of doing my thing and coaching ball every day, and eventually, here we are. So it's worked out.
Yeah, and of course, Coach Newton left not that long ago, so it was kind of late in the process. So I'm sure you were very happy because I know there was interest in the position. So very happy that they chose you to carry on here, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I knew from the beginning when Coach Newton said, I think I'm going to try to apply for this and see what happens. Then, I knew he had a pretty good job, a pretty good shot at getting that job. He does a great job, and I thought he may get it. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, let's go. Let me see if I can get this, and we'll just hopefully keep the train rolling.
Yeah, and you step into a great position. I mean, all these kids. The district champs last year, advancing to the region semifinals. Some of the best players in the region are on this squad, so it's definitely a good situation to come into.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I've known forever that I would love to be the head coach one day, and stepping in right now, we've got a good thing going. We've got some great players. I love these guys. I've coached them all. As they've come up through our system, and I'm super excited. I mean, I realize I'm stepping into a good situation and just ready to go.
Yeah. We're talking about the rest of your staff. Who you brought on?
Okay, so we've got Christian Pope is still on staff. He's been with us for the last 3 or 4 years. He's been doing our freshman recently, and he's going to move up and have a new role. He's going to do JV for us. Matt Adams is still on staff with us. He's going to be doing our freshmen. So they have 3 guys, including myself, that have been around the system and the staff before, and so all our guys are familiar with us. I'm bringing on a new volunteer assistant. I've got somebody else that's in the building that knows basketball really well that's going to help us behind the scenes. Working with another former player, maybe trying to bring him back as an assistant as well. So, yeah, we got a lot going on.
All right, and basically bring back pretty much your entire team from last year. I graduated a couple of seniors, but it's a lot of the same kids.
Yeah, so we got a lot of guys back. Yeah, I'm excited about what we returned for sure. We lost some guys that we're going to miss. We had a good senior class last year. Those guys accomplished a lot. But we bring back a lot. We bring back a lot of scoring. We bring back a lot of rebounding, a big percentage of what caused us to be successful last year. So I think we should be right there again.
Yeah, and it's not only bring them back, but you got that trifecta of the Hudsons and Rose for 2 more years, this year and next year. So those guys are just juniors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they've been in our system already for 3 years, so they know how to play and they know what we're looking for, and I mean, they're fired up and chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I guess talk a little bit about some of these guys. We'll start off with the Hudson twins there.
So the best word I know for them is fiery or competitive. Those guys just flat get after it every single day. I don't know that I've ever coached two guys before that want to win as bad as those two, for sure.
Yeah, and Big Jay there.
Yeah, Jay. So Jay's proven scorer, absolutely. He's got our school record for points in a game. He's got the school record for points in a season. He's really skilled. He's big. He's tall. He's 6'3", 6'4". Skilled. He's just he's ranked as one of the best players in the region, and for good reason. I mean, he can play for sure.
Yeah,
Nabi, I love his his just mentality. So he wins every sprint we do in practice. He's so competitive. Defensively, he's been really good for us. He runs the team. He knows our stuff. He's really good at communicating and getting our guys in the right spots. He stepped up last year as a freshman and had a major role, and is looking to just improve on that this year.
You got the mountain back too, right, Brett?
Oh yeah, Brett's back. I love him, man. Me and Brett have a great relationship. So he gets in there and he battles. He's got nice, big hands that his hands are good. Right? His feet are good. He can move well, and you're not going to move him. So I love having him in the middle, take up space and score and rebound and bang, and just the guys respect him. He's a great addition in there for sure.
Okay, I got Ashton Hazelwood back and a bunch of other kids, so just talk about some other guys.
Yeah, so Ashton came in. He played a lot for us last year as a JV guy, and then played some varsity some. And he was injured a lot last year, and he had to kind of take a step back. But he's healthy now, and he shoots it really well. He guards well. He's really good at talking on the floor and communicating with our guys. He's super positive. I love having him. We've got a couple more guys that I think are going to come in and contribute for sure. Avery Davidson has played a lot for me in the past. He's a soccer player, football player. He's just all-around great athlete. I think he's going to be in the rotation for sure. I'm looking for some big things from him. We're bringing back some other pieces that I had last year on my JV team that I'm looking to step up and be varsity contributors this year. Micah Whitaker is one of those. Mason Davis is one of those. We've got another kid coming off the football team that I think was not here last year to transfer. His name is Preston Williams. Plays football for us. So I think he may come in and be a big, strong kid that's a leader, and that the guys they respect him from being around him in the hallway and seeing him with the football guys. So I'm really excited. I think we got a lot of pieces to be really successful.
All right. Well, congratulations on finally getting the head coaching job.
Yeah.
It's worth the wait, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, appreciate Coach taking some time to talk to us, and we did also get a chance to talk to Jay Rose, and Jay is really emerged as one of the top players in the 11th region. Just a junior. He's also a kid who took that fifth year, so he comes back and he is still just a junior. He'll have one more year after this. Already starting to get some really serious college looks. If you check out his social media, he'll tell you about all the offers and everything he had. But it's a confident kid. You watch this video and listen to the very last question I asked him and listen to what his answer is. But obviously everyone down there at Madison Southern is very excited for the season to start. This is a confident group who thinks that big things are on the way.
Hi, we're back here at Madison Southern High School with junior Jay Rose. Thanks for taking some time to talk to us, Jay.
Yes, sir.
It's coming off a great year last year, a kind of unexpected coaching change, but obviously with Coach Bevan, you guys know him so well. I assume it's been a pretty smooth transition.
Yeah, it's obviously whenever you get a new coach in or anything, it changes the whole system. It's going to be a little difficult at first, but I've known Bevins ever since I played JV and stuff. He's always been a great coach, so it'll take a little bit of time just for everybody to gel together, but we'll be all right.
Kind of running the same offensive, defensive sets and stuff, basically?
Pretty much the exact same stuff. We're switching up a couple plays and stuff like that, but overall the same concept.
Yeah, and a lot of the same players back. You did lose a few seniors from last year, but there's got to be a cohesiveness here that's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, we didn't lose hardly anyone. We lost Nate Turner and a couple other guys, but we brought a whole lot of people back that made it to the semifinal of the region. So, like I said, we should be all right, gel together, get us a few games under our belt, we'll be okay.
Yeah, of course, success breeds expectations, and that leads to pressure. Do you guys feel any more pressure now that people kind of know who you are and expect big things from you?
Not really. We always have the best limitations out of ourselves. You know, we want to be the best that we possibly can. So the pressure doesn't get to us at all.
Yeah, it seems like you, and especially Nobby and the Hudson guys. I mean, you guys seem very confident and very sure, and doesn't seem like the pressure gets to you guys at all.
Mm-hmm. No, because we all actually grew up together, like the Hudson and stuff. I always played with them through middle school and stuff like that. So we've always been there for one another. So I mean, pressure really isn't a thing for us anymore.
Yeah. So what are the expectations here?
Expectations, we want to make it to Rupp. We fell short last year. I feel like the Douglas game we should have won. We let it slip in the fourth quarter. So whenever we emphasize this season, take care of the ball. Be sharp on offense, be good on defense, gel together. Get to the paint, find an extra person, stuff like that. So I think we sharpen up a couple little things. We'll get there.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, appreciate Jay's time, and you gotta love the swagger there. I mean, I guess it's not bragging if you can back it up. And those kids, they want to get to Rupp Arena. They feel like they have the talent to do that. And of course, there's a lot of other teams that are gonna that feel that way too. And I'm sure their rivals up here in Richmond, Madison Central, feel the same way too. But if you don't believe it can happen, it can't happen. So, but big expectations down at Madison Southern. And once again, appreciate everybody talking to us. We had a big media day. It was nice to see some other members of the media at something I've gone to. Usually I'm the only person there, so it was nice to see some other folks there. So, but the Eagles will open their season November 29th versus Collins at an event up at Georgetown College. So hope you guys enjoyed all the videos there. And so I got high school football on Friday night, second round of the playoffs, Madison Central and Henry Clay. Got all kinds of college basketball starting off. We got the Wellspring Guardians are playing here in town as well tomorrow night. I think I'm going to go out and check those guys out as well. We have Model Madness tomorrow night as well here Monday in Richmond. So all kinds of good stuff going on. And like I said, we'll try to get you as much of it as we can, get you as much info as we can. So, as always, Richmond R Sports on Twitter is the place to be. You follow everything in Madison County sports. Also on Facebook at Register Sports and RichmondRegister.com. And I got to say, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. So, that's my Elvis, a really bad Elvis impersonation. It's the king. So, but appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you next week.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Stephanie Miserandino here with IHOP and partner Destination Athlete, presenting Parker Mullins with the IHOP Pancake Block of the Week. Get your t-shirt, 52 weeks of pancakes for you, and your IHOP gift card. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.